Okay, now that we are done with the play the game loop that will allow us to play our current game over and over again, we will define our first game. Let's scroll to the top and see the games that we have. We have 3 games. We have dealer no match, pick a number and find the ace. Let us start with this. Pick a number, copy it and move to the bottom. Let's give it a body. Before we write anything, let us add some comments. Now, the way this game works is very simple. You will pick a number. Inside this function, we will get a random number and save it as the winning number. So if the number that you pick is the same as the random number, then you win. Now, to play this game, you will lose 10 credits. But if you win the jackpot, and the jackpot is worth 100 credits. Very easy. We can define your pick and also winning number. Now let us welcome the user to this our game, and we will explain to the user how he's supposed to play. Just pick a random number between 1 and 20, and if the number you pick is equal to the winning number, you win the jackpot. So when we come here, we can set the winning number. So we want a random number between 1 and 20, right? We are telling the user that it will cost him 10 credits to play, which means that we need to check if he has that available credits, right? If he doesn't have, then we will tell him that sorry, you cannot play this game. So we will say if player.credits is less than 10, then he cannot play. You need at least 10 to play. This is the credit that you have. You cannot play. We return -1. He cannot play. If he has more than this credit, we subtract 10 from his credit. We can tell him we have subtracted this number of credit. Then we can also tell him to pick his number between 1 and 20, right? Then here we can do the scanf, and whatever he picks, we save it to the address of pick. So now we've deducted his credits, that is 10 of it, and we are giving him the chance to pick a number. So once the player has picked the number, we will check if the number is the winning number. If this is the case, then he has won the jackpot, right? So we call the jackpot. Else he didn't win, right? Then we can tell him sorry, you didn't win. Okay, and we return 0. Don't forget, we only return -1 if, for example, he didn't have enough credit to play. But when we get to this point, it means that he was able to play successfully. He just either won or lost, okay? So we return 0. And that is the end of the pick a number game. Okay, once we are done with the pick a number game, the next game that we will write will be the dealer no match, right? We'll copy this as usual. Let's give it a body and let's write some comment for this game. So as we are starting, let us define some variables that we will need. We will need some indices to get the random numbers and also to search through the random numbers if there are matches. Now we also need an array to store. We will store 16 random numbers. Now this variable will hold the value the user wants to wager or gamble, and the last variable is to determine whether there is a match in the random numbers. Okay, now the idea of this game is simple. It is going to generate 16 random numbers. If there are any match among the numbers, then the dealer wins and you lose. If there are no match among the numbers, then the player wins. When the player wins, the amount that he is wagering or the amount that he is gambling will be added to his total credit, and if he loses, it will be subtracted from his credit. So let us welcome the user to the game, no match dealer game. We can also give the user some information about this game. The dealer will deal 16 random numbers, right, between 0 and 99. If there are no matches, you win. To play this game, you shouldn't have 0 credit. So let us check if the player has 0 credit. If he has, then we will return the game. Okay, sorry, you don't have enough credit to play, then we return -1. If he has enough credit to play, then we can go ahead and ask him the total number of his credit he wants to gamble. We can do while wager is equal to -1. We've already set the wager to 1. Okay, let's make it -1. Then we can call the take wager function that we already defined above. And when we call the take wager function, it requires us to pass in the available credit and the previous wager. So we will pass the user's credit, and it's our first time calling it. There are no previous wages, so we'll pass in 0. Once we've done that, it's time for us to get 16 random numbers and put them inside this array. We can print something to the console and say that dealing 16 random numbers. Now we can use a simple for loop. A is equal to 0, e less than 16, e plus plus, right? Now at this point we are going to generate some random numbers between 0 and 99 and put them inside the numbers array. Numbers to bracket a equal to rand modulus 100. Once we get the numbers, we can go ahead and print them straight away just for the user to see the numbers. So we can do, after 8 numbers, we print the other numbers on a new line. If e modulus 8 is equal to 7, then we can print a new line. After getting the random numbers, we will search through the random numbers and see if any of the numbers match. Once again, we can use a for loop. Now we can use the j variable that we created, and we will set j to e plus 1. We compare one number to the number right next to it. While j is less than 16, then we will try and see if we get any matches. So let's say if numbers into bracket e is equal to numbers into bracket j, right? If this is true, then we have a match. We can set the match variable to the numbers that are matching. Alright, and we increase j. By the time we are done with this for loop, the match will be equal to the last number that are matching. So definitely match will no longer be equal to -1 here. So when we come here and we check the value of match and it is not equal to -1, it means there was a match. If there was a match, then the dealer wins. If match is not equal to -1, it means match has been set to a value, then the dealer wins. The dealer match the number, we can show the match. The dealer won and the player lost. You lose that credit, and the credit you lose will be the credit that you wagered, the wager. We subtract the wager from your credit. Now if match is still equal to -1, it means that none of the numbers matched, so you win. There were no matches, and this will be your wager, and we will add it to your credit. Now at this point we've come to the end of the game, then we will return 0. And just like that, that is all for the dealer no match game. The final game that we will write is the find the ace game. Let's do it.